What's up, everyone? We're back with some more modern action, and this time we got a fun one. Boros Humans versus Izzet Murktide here. You got a little bit of banter between the players, the volume a little bit higher at the start of it. Just to let you know, this is recorded up at our LGS every single week that we do, and we've got quite a backlog of games, so if there's a deck and match you want to see, let me know. But the players, it says never punish, shows us a one land hand, basically a 2-drop dot deck there, with a lot of really powerful 2-drop stuff. So we're gonna, we've had this weird, it's not quite weird, but we've had this interesting dynamic happening at our shop with a lot of players leaning more into just like value decks. That, especially with the Izzet side of things, like going, oh, I'll do like a little bit of Corey Steelcutter shenanigans and doing things like that. And then we have players that are like, oh, I'm doing Boros land destruction, like we saw last week. In this case, we see a Boros human deck, which is an aggro deck that's focused on kind of swarming the board, utilizing Aether Vial to kind of get around the mana restriction of it. But it's a very low to the ground deck that is all about sort of setting itself up there. But look at this cool little bobble, let's do a fetch, get a surveil land type setup here to try to get our second land. We're going to get this second land drop. You can't stop us here. But on the other side, we're going to have to wait and see what is going to be the swarm, how it's going to go. Now, there is a slight glare in this matchup, which I need to apologize for. We bounce around sometimes in our LGS where we record because of, it's an LGS. There's not a dedicated recording space to utilize for it, so we just kind of rotate our equipment around as we film and do stuff. And sometimes there are players that are playing games in the best spot in the house, if you will, that I have found to be the best spot for the lighting and things like that to not have a glare. You can see there's no glare on one side, but just a slight glare on the Boros human side. But that's okay. We've got all the card images that will pop up on screen for you to be able to see and enjoy and know exactly what is happening. Of course, if you want to see a little bit more about these decks, you can check out the description for our Moxfield link. We've got a whole bunch of goodies there. But we recently had a bit of a ban list, nothing affecting Modern, but at least a big hit to the Legacy side of things and the Pauper. But we see Burning Tree Emissary, of course, with ETB get the extra red and a green. But we are going to be casting an Adeline, attempting to, but that's going to be met with a counter spell and say, no, you may not. Adeline's crazy good. So like there's definitely like you need to find an answer for this card immediately, and there was one. Expressive Iteration, we're going to try to dig and look for some tools here. Oh, our Murktide player said, chat, we're punished. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe they were looking for a third land and looks like did not hit it there because there's a Dragon Rage Channeler. So now this is basically giving us the doors open. Can we push for big damage here? Losing 3 life here. Let's see what we can find. Another Adeline? Yes. Resplendent Cathar here. Got a bunch of different arts for her. And this is a big deal one. Rally of the Hornburg, which will be met with the Force Negation, which would have been a really big, scary thing because that would have given all those creatures haste and basically just been like, whoosh, almost killing. Or maybe killing. Like, plus extra Adeline would have made more tokens, so that was definitely big scary there. Thalia's Lieutenant will increase the powers of everything there. 3 damage going to come across. 4 damage. Oof. Alright. Oh, never punished, right? There's a land drop. Looks like a Murktide in hand. A lot of things to get rid of here. Izzet Murktide's a cool one. It used to be very big in the Modern Horizons 2 era, and then it sort of fell off a bit. Players were utilizing a lot of Dimir for a while with Murktide, and now it's sort of fallen off even more so. But I like this idea of just going back to like some of the best tools. Unholy Heat is really powerful. Fetch, Murktide coming, and that's at least a big scary wall here. I mean, the Unholy Heat answering Adeline is really nice. Again, that's like one of those big must answer creature. So, but Murktide has that evasiveness, so 4 mana. Oh, Riders of the Mark. I was like, what costs 4 in here? Technically costs 7, but there's, you know, a couple of creatures out. But trample, haste, 7/4 at the beginning of your end step. If Riders of the Mark attack this turn, return it to its owner's hand. If you do, you can create a number of 1/1 human soldiers equal to the toughness. So you basically it's saying I'm going to make 4, but with things like Thalia's Lieutenant, that could be different. So very, very cool to see that big top end for the humans deck. I like the Boros Humans, like, because of just the speed and the explosiveness of it. Like if you're a fan of like Zoo and thing like that, that definitely is making sense for you. But of course, if you like our content over here, not only our modern gameplay stuff, but all the other stuff that we have produced over on the channel, make sure you guys are following, subscribing, all that good stuff. Leaving those comments, letting the algorithm know that this is content that, you know, other people should be able to see. We definitely appreciate it. We've got some legacy content coming up. We're looking at maybe a couple of pre-modern matches to put up on the channel. We're going to wait and see about how our Friday goes, because our LGS has an invitational that's happening, and it's going to be the top 8 for the pre-modern event. And then after that, we kick up the legacy content. So we'll be able to produce and show off not only modern for you, but also some other gameplay stuff. So if you want to see a little bit more in the 60 card format stuff, we got some cool stuff for you for that. We're working on, of course, all of our short form content has the cube related content. And maybe we're looking about doing our Pokemon Cube. If you haven't seen any of our Pokemon stuff, that's been fun to be able to produce here. But let's get back to this match. We see the trade-off Murktide against Riders of the Mark, basically saying, yeah, 7 power versus 7 power. Let's do it. Let's go. We, you know, oh, Flow State. Only going to be able to pick 1 at the moment. So grab 1, put 2 on the bottom. But Flow State's a really good card. Flow State is going to cause some problems as players really start to play with it. I mean, it's kind of like Stock Up. There's not as many Stock Up decks in Modern, but Flow State fits in these sort of Murktide, Dimir, you know, control shells and things like that, that like there's definitely a home for it. We saw how powerful it is in Legacy. If you guys watched our Legacy coverage that we did for 4 seasons, but Bolt's going to come and answer the Thalia's Lieutenant. And this is really just like answer, right? Oh, but we're now hellbent. A second Vial out here. Dropped our Murktide player to 4, and they now have to try to piece together something to stabilize here. Can they do it, though? A Flow State, this time it's online. We can be able to look at the top 3 and pick 2 because we have an instant and a sorcery in our graveyard. Yeah, much easier to be able to utilize in, you know, say Legacy, where people are sitting here and casting their ponders and brainstorming and doing all these setup. You know, we saw it both again with like combo decks that were using it, but also just sort of like the, you know, Delver style of decks, just sort of value engine decks are utilizing it. But yeah, not okay. Rally and immediately met with a force. Oh my gosh. Trying to go to combat. Bolt this. Drops you to 3. Do we got any bolts? Not, it's like not all the human lists run the bolts. You know, my human list, I'm still on the Bant style, essentially 4 color, but another Flow State. Oh my gosh. Flow State. That's the thing. It's like having expressive iteration and Flow State is crazy. I might have to pick up another set. I've got 1 set right now that's sitting there, but you know, watching this Izzet Murktide in action is just like, oh, this seems like a ton of fun. Because I have my Izzet Wizard / Izzet Twin deck, and I haven't tested out Flow State in there yet. But that seems like great. Yeah, I think I might have to start testing that out. I mean, we've just found answer after answer here. Like, that's the thing with the Flow Save. Like, look at 3. I'm picking 2 things. It's like a force of negation and something to pitch with it. I'm picking a removal spell and a cantrip. Like, we're getting a bunch of stuff. A little bit of a surveil, pitch the land. We don't need it. We finally stabilized here. I believe Corey Steelcutter. Second spell. Expressive trigger. Ooh, okay. Don't need that Murktide. I like it. Ooh, you see that, like, hesitation for a second there. And that's why. There's the burning tree. Because, like, if you push in and go, yeah, let's push for damage, sitting at 2 life, you just immediately die. All right, Thalia. Oh, try to trade off, but Thalia is going to put that +1 counter on the burning tree, resetting the monk token. Gone. Now we're having to cast 2 spells again. No 2 spells available. Oh, rally. Hard cast force, though. Every time we're trying to cast rally, we're met with the force of negation. All right. Unholy heat. Oh my gosh. Second. Oh my gosh. Trade off. What a game 1 we were getting. It's just answer, answer, answer. Another flow state. Is this the 4th one? It's the 4th one. Oh my gosh. 4 bolts, 4 force, 4 flow states. I guess not 4 bolts, but 2 unholy heats, 2 bolts so far. Ooh, this has been cool to see. Look at it. You see the Murktide player is even still feeling a little bit like, even though they're like doing this sort of advantage side of things, they're like, you know what? I know that you're hellbent right now, but I'm worried about another haste effect. Yeah, the Murktide player jokes. Where's my Mystic Sanctuary? Sorry, that is banned in Modern. You may not play that card. Go play Legacy with that if you want to do that, because you definitely can in Legacy. Ooh, Thalia, Gardener of Thraben. I mean, that if that had hit earlier, that would have been such a big deal. But oh, Otawara bounce. Thalia. All right, playing both. All right, creating a wall. But is the wall enough as a second Corey Steelcutter pops up and a Ragavan triggers? Do we want to keep it or not? Leaving the prowess on there for a little bit of extra pushing damage here. And we have basically creating a wall of tokens. Just all right, Thalia will be able to eat it though with the first strike. So that worked out well. Okay, need a big card. Adeline, we need another rally here. We need something. The first striker. Question. Ooh, send the 2 across. Go for a trade here. Kill this. But still, oh, a land. Dolly is scary. Oh, double equip? Pass. 1, 2, 3. It is a 4-3. Pop. Draw a card. Block. And Esper Sentinel's nice. Can get us to draw some cards. I mean, there's a decent amount of mana, though, so maybe we won't draw cards, because you could pay, right? It's based off its power. Right now, it's a 1-1. Let's see. Man, this has been a cool game 1. I don't know if you like seeing the aggro deck try to push for damage, try to close out this game. Our Murktide players trying to stabilize and keep themselves in this at 2 life is crazy. I mean, this is like the exciting part about Modern is there's so many different decks that you can play and so many different strategies that you can utilize and different play styles. Like right now we're seeing the Ragavan get the haste effect off of the Corey Steelcutter, push for damage here, a 3-2. Oh, no! It's a Vial, and because of that, yeah, pay for the Esper Sentinel draw trigger, cast the Aether Vial, which will trigger both Corey Steelcutters because the Ragavan was our first spell that turn. Another land. Oh. Look at, you see this like mathing it out here. Okay, if I attack like this, you come back and block, and it's like, oh man, this is such a tough moment because you're like, if I attack and you don't have a way to deal with this, then I just get you. But if you happen to have too many spells and chain them together, I just die, right? Like the life totals switch so quickly here. This is, do you want to put a vial on it? maybe the vial gets a 7, you put a Murktide in play. Dragon Rage. Oh, look, you could have vialed that Darcian, but no, we actually care about the casting him, probably. But let's see. Equip, and we have Delirium, so that does make it a 3/3, and then, of course, the 4/4, flying, haste, that we can fly over top. Wow, game number 1. What a comeback stabilization for our Murktide player there. Really cool to be able to see just sort of the aggro, like, here's a big scary thing, here's a big threat, can you answer this, and Murktide just sort of stabilizing. And that was on a 1-land hand, right? We saw that revealed at the beginning of that match of, yes, that's one
our
land.
Gameplay to let you know about our new affiliate with Nerd Gear. nerdgear.gg/nanman will take you directly to the website, and as you can see, they've got a bunch of awesome gaming accessories, from playmats, life counters with the life tracks, playmat holders, and more. So make sure you do some browsing on the site, find some goodies, and then use the code NGNanman for 5% off your entire order. But let's get back to our gameplay.
All right, let's get back into it. There are some new sleeve colors out there for Nerd Gear, so if you're interested in checking those out, make sure you go head over to the website and use our code NGNanman to get some new colored sleeves. All right, game number 2, going into that post-board match. What tools do we have to help us out? I would say that the Humans player probably has a couple of goodies there. I don't know if the Murktide player is going to have as much tools at their disposal in this matchup, though. Okay, so we did get to hear that our our Boros Humans player said I had no sideboard cards in hand, had to mulligan it. And I think that is that, like, I always get caught in those moments of deciding, do I keep a decent 7 or do I keep a mid 7, right? It's got some tools, it can do some things. Or do I aggressively mulligan for my sideboard tools? I think a big part of that depends on the matchup itself and where your deck is weak, right? You're trying to shore up your weaknesses in that post-board matchup state. So it's like, okay, what can I do that can help me here? What can I draw? What can I bring in, right? There's definitely those moments of deciding that it becomes very difficult. And sideboarding is a definitely a skill that you have to learn and practice, but Esper Sentinel is a really good way to start things off. Seeing how many cantrips and stuff were played in the first match, right? Flow states and expressive iterations. Getting an Esper Sentinel early is really nice. And speaking of Esper Sentinel, about 3 of them. And offer the trade here. I've got 3. Here's one more coming across. What do you think about this? Do you want to trade your Dragon Rage Channeler, or do you care more about having the ability to filter your draws? And looks like we're going to prioritize getting rid of one of those threats, which I think makes a lot of sense, seeing how go wide this strategy is right now that the Humans player is establishing. Like Athalia's Lieutenant turns that whole board into a bunch of 2/2s, and then it just kind of snowballs from there. So, you know, trading that off early makes a lot of sense. All right, what do we got to follow it up here? 2. Oh, I like that. Check, confirm. How many cards do you have in hand? 2 left. That's, you know, getting that information is definitely something that experienced players start to do a lot more of when it comes those decision-making points of going, how do I navigate this next stage of it? I've got like A, B, and C options, and oh my gosh, this is crazy. Thalia's Lieutenant, ETB triggers. In response, Fire Mage Magic, deal 1 damage to each creature before they all get buffed up. Wipe your board for 1 mana is wild. Bobble. I mean, we saw the 1-lander success in game 1. Right now, we're having a harder time, though. Upkeep, draw. A Force Negation's not bad. Oh, Adeline. Another Bobble. Bobble you. Oh, nothing else. We need an Unholy Heat here. Thalia. Trigger. Oh, Thalia's Lieutenant can get really big. Pop. Triggers. Attack triggers. Let's scoop it up. Yeah, that just sort of like we didn't have the Unholy Heat. We didn't have a way to answer it, and it just got crazy. So the 1-land keep in game 1 paid off. 1-land keep game 2 didn't pay off, but we see a little bit of sideboarding change. You notice that? Interesting. That is, definitely a strategy to do. You see something different, or you see something the way people respond to things, and you go, okay, no, maybe I do need this. Maybe this is something that will help me in this matchup. Also, there is that nuanceness of these are better on the play as opposed to being on the draw. Especially in like a tempo-y, control-y strategy like a Murktide list or a Dimir list. Like those are things that you do need to consider and think about when you are playing. But wow, double triggers of Surveil off the Dragon Rage Chandler, double Bobble. Basically, we're dumping our hand here, but also filtering and setting up for the follow-up because we're going to be able to draw 2 new cards. But let's see. Surveil, don't need a Murktide. Are we looking for another land? Keeping that on top, let's do a Bobble on you. So, okay, so there is the confirmation of when to see how we're doing this. I want to, see what you're going to draw, and I want to see what you're going to be having coming up next. Vial on turn 1 is pretty nice. Now, the way that we sequence this is we're basically going to draw off Bobble here and then draw for turn. Did we get a second land? Creature, artifact, land in the graveyard right now. An instant of source to return Dragon Rage Chandler into a 3/3. Okay, we did get our second land. Go to 16 here. We could be going for some Blood Moon effects, to be honest. That could be an option that we decided to go for too, but based off of the land bases that the Boros Human player has, it is very much reliant on the Vial. They have ways to get around the Blood Moons, but the Blood Moons can be effective, depending on how greedy players are. Ooh, Ragavand. Let's see, anything worthwhile? Oh, it was the flare. Sack the treasure, cast Dragon Rage Chandler, and Ragavand comes back to hand. Lose some life here. Oh my gosh. Champion, champion, champion. This will get 2 because there's 2 humans that have entered. This one will get 1, and this one gets none. But we got 3 Esper Sentinels in game number 2. Now we're having 3 champions here. Oh, this is scary. Unholy Heat, the biggest one. Surveils. Oh, no, the middle one. Oh, we don't have Delirium yet. So we have to target the smaller one that we can guaranteed kill. Oh, yeah. And that's Brotherhood End is getting out of hand. These you know, the ability to wipe the board is not really helpful here. I mean, 3 damage also gets rid of our Dragon Rage Chandlers, and that's our way to kind of get through things here, right? We're pushing damage with it. 6 damage every turn. Advantage meter definitely leaning towards our Murktide player for sure. All right. How much damage can we push here, though? I mean, there's bolts in the Murktide player's deck, so... Oh, Adeline. Triggers. Oh, gosh. 4, 5, 6 damage. Before combat. Basic Mountain, Unholy Heat, this. Do we have a way to... All right, did the confirm. Yes, we have Delirium now. That is 6. Sorcery, land, creature, artifact. So even if we brought in Arthalia, that is still not going to matter. To save Adeline, that is. But it is going to matter with how big these creatures are about to get. Right now, there's 6 power on the board, and they're about to get 2 more counters added to them. Double lands getting dropped in there. Of course, the Surveil is off the Unholy Heat that we cast. We have 2 Dragon Rage Chandlers here. Our Murktide player isn't just throwing cards into their graveyard. But getting rid of 2 lands is not bad, because now we're hopefully going to be able to get a live draw here. But you see this sort of math, this decision-making point of, I don't have a way to fly in and reach you, so let's just turn them sideways. Look at this. Oh, my gosh. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. Basically, we've set both of us at a 2-turn clock, right? We can't keep, like, a Dragon Rage Chandler has to attack every turn. So this is 6 damage guaranteed, dropping the human player to 2. We need a Lightning Bolt. We've got a Ragavan that we can keep back. 6 in the air. Do we have anything else to go with it? No. Oh my gosh, Brotherhood's End is just out of reach. It doesn't do anything now. Needed a burn spell. We need a draw. We need an expressive iteration. We need a flow state. We need something to dig here. Oh, you see the math. The finger math is always so good as players are sitting here and trying to piece through and work through and figure it out and try to find the way out of this situation, because it is such a tight match, and this has really been such a cool match. But no, the double Ragavan doesn't matter, right? Especially because the follow-up here of let's make a bunch of creatures and go. Wow.
I knew you wouldn't slow roll me. You would just be like this. And maybe like in my upkeep or something, just bolting it right away.
Yeah, okay, that was great. Like,
you would have anything to look for one.
Right? That so the players are going through and like you would have just dug. How close was it? Oh no, not even close there. I mean, we get a draw effect there, but still, flow states. Upkeep bolted you if I had it, yeah. Oh, the human players thought I kept the one lander there because you had all the champions. It makes sense. You have Aether Vial, you have champions. You can get away with it, right? I have a lot of one land hands from both these players tonight, and we got to see 2 of those games. The one landers paid off perfectly fine. So, all right, so we get to see a bit of the sideboard options here. Subtleties. I like the subtleties against like the big Adeline plays. Basically, it basically fogs him for a turn in a way. Also, decent 3/3 body's pretty good. Brotherhood's End is nice. It's because you can be able to try to board wipe early enough. Fire Magic's great. Thraben Charm's cool. Flares. Oh, yeah, that's very cool. I'm very happy with how this match went. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This one's been a really exciting one to be able to see. We've got a lot more games, of course, in the works and on the channel coming up. If there's a specific matchup that you want to see, let us know, because again, Modern is in such a cool state right now of players being able to play all these stuff. It's not like crazy like Legacy with the Fantastic car, or Vintage with the Fantastic car. I mean, there's other decks out in Legacy, of course. We did talk a little bit about the ban lists. Candelabra got banned, but... Oh, yeah, okay, so here we're going to see what got taken out. Burning Tree Emissaries. We got some of our rallies, and then our top end here. Which I like this idea of, like, yeah, we shaved on the Force and Negations. They're really not as helpful post-board.
Obviously, this guy for 4 mana when you got 3 creatures on turn 4 is just attack, right?
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, as you saw, it's where you dealt with them. Like,
All right, Wang Shi Tong. I like this. We get to see the full sideboard. Here's okay, yeah. So, couple extra Core Steel Cutters. We got the Blood Moons. Yeah, look at all this: Surgicals, White Orchid. Some good cards to be able to bring in.
I realize playing this deck, like, I do one thing and I do one thing only. I have to be able to protect it.
I do one thing and I do one thing only, so I have to be able to protect it. So. Very cool, very cool. You know, it's always great when players will lay their sideboard cards out like this. It's definitely something we do at our LGS. I don't know if your guys' LGS do this for your weeklies, but something that, like, you get to see these discussion moments between the players of, like, yeah, I bring these in for this matchup. What do you think about my sideboard right now? And I'll do this all the time with my list of, like, here's what I brought in, you know, here's what I took out, and we just sort of have those discussions. But seeing the full sideboard is always a great discussion points with players here, but... Very happy with how this game turned out. Really exciting. It really could have gone either way in all 3 of those games there. So really cool one. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys are leaving comments, following, subscribing, all that good stuff. But that's going to do it for us here today. Thanks so much for tuning and watching, y'all. And I'll see you all next game.